We birthed CELE Chats out of our own friendship, and we birthed it out of a love of connecting one-on-one with women. There is nothing like the way that you feel when you connect with a woman. You see each other for who each other is. You help each other grow. It's such a beautiful opportunity for you.
All right, we're starting every episode with the CELE Scoop to just see how we're feeling, where we're at, what's going on in our life. First question for you. What's your dream friend date, and when do you want to take me on it?
Ooh, I'd be honored to take you on my dream friend date.
All right, what is it?
I would say my dream friend date, I'm going to go all in on my dream friend date. I love Paris. I absolutely love the energy around Paris. I love going there. So I think my dream friend date would be to do a long weekend. We take a red eye, hit the Amex lounge, have a couple of glasses of champs.
Yes.
We find a stunning hotel. I'm just going to say the Ritz-Carlton. We put bathrobes on. We get a massage in the morning. We fight the jet lag. Go shopping. Shop till we freaking drop. Have a sick Michelin star dinner together. And dream and manifest and just shop all weekend long. Have a couple crepes. Have a couple cockies, and it ends with just feeling so filled up and just complimenting each other all weekend and just feeling so happy and grateful for each other's presence.
That's amazing. Woo. I'm so down.
Yeah, come
Best
through.
answer I could have ever thought of.
Come through.
Next little CELE Scoop. What's a moment from this year that had you like, how is this my life right now?
Ooh, 2025 has been so good to me. Thank you, God. I would say the biggest one where I was like, how is this my life right now, is honestly, biggest curveball of 2025 was when Drew and I decided we're going to move back to Massachusetts. I'm so excited to be able to raise my children there. It was something that I was dreaming of. And when we were in Nantucket and he mentioned it to me, and he was apprehensive to tell me he was ready to move. He was like, if I tell her, we're going to be moving. Yeah, we're freaking going. I was like, are you serious? I remember walking, we were celebrating his 31st birthday. And I was like, all right. I was like, should we start planning this? And when we started touring homes that week, and then we literally put an offer on the home that week, at 29 years old, I never imagined being in this position and being able to move 8 minutes from my mom and purchasing a house where we were thinking, you know, she might need to move in at some point, and we are going to be able to provide that for her. So that moment was like, it just hit me. And a lot of the things that I always dreamed of happened. I feel so grateful and blessed.
If anyone who listening doesn't know Carly, when Carly decides that something's going to happen, which Drew deciding that he was ready for this was the start, it's going to happen. So I am really excited for you. I know this was a dream that you thought might never manifest because your hubby loved warm weather, but everything works out for you. Literally.
Everything did work out, and we realized this year that we were trading connections for a little bit warmer of weather, and it really hit home and clocked to us. And we were like, all right, if we want to start a family, we don't have any family to celebrate our future kids' milestones and birthdays, and people are going to have to fly in. And it sounded just a little inconvenient.
Definitely.
So Megan, let me ask you, have you had a friendship green flag moment lately?
A friendship green flag moment. Yes, I feel like this week, honestly, Odyssey is here. I've been spending a lot of time with her, and she is just there for me whenever I bring up some kind of crazy spiritual realization or some kind of thing that I'm thinking about in my life. Even if it might sound a little woo-woo to people or maybe even just so repetitive to some of my friends who would be like, Meg, shut the hell up. I've already heard you talk about this. She's just been such open ears and open heart there for me, hearing me, listening to me, giving me advice. And I'm just keep having these moments of, damn, I'm so grateful for her.
It's so beautiful to have friendships who don't have judgment. They really hold space for you in your low seasons, your best seasons, and especially the friends where they've heard the same story or situation over and over again, and they're still rooting for you.
I think there is definitely a cap that people need to have on how many times they could hear the same story over and over, or else you're letting your friend just sit in that problem or that chaos, whatever it is. But definitely the friends that listen multiple times are special, and you need to celebrate them and appreciate them.
Yeah. A cap of more than once, okay?
Yeah, not just
Let them
once. They
live
can
in
do
it
it
for
a
a
couple
moment,
times,
but
but like after like 7, like I've heard you and this guy break up 7 times. We're
yeah,
done. We're done.
we're done.
I'm done. You're done. He's done. We're all done.
So true. All right, Megan, I need to celebrate you. What's been your biggest Delulu win of the year? Go.
I mean, I think this was my last summer in my 20s.
Yes,
As
changed it
I've
up.
announced to every single person that I've talked to this year. Last summer in my 20s, I wanted it to be the best summer of my life. So I left Miami for 2 months, just traveled Europe with my best friend, got to spend so much time with my friends and my family in Rhode Island.
You
And
loved your little Rhode Island
I love my
era.
Rhode Island
What if you're
era.
gonna be a Massachusetts girly?
I don't
Maybe.
know if that's in my future, but I think my whole summer, especially the European summer,
Yeah.
was definitely Delulu, and I lived it up. It was the best. All my little European boyfriends, all my
We
European
love you.
adventures, Ibiza, Sardinia, Ponza. It was amazing, and I had the best summer of my life this year.
I remember seeing your Instagram story, your close friends, and I go, who are these baby boys? But I actually secretly loved it for you.
I know, because if you were single, you would be with the baby boys. I already know
I
it.
would be.
You'd be a cougar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, if you don't follow me on close friends, you definitely don't know who I am or what my life is, because that's the only place that you really see the full chaos
That's so true.
and fun.
All right, friendships in your 20s. I'm not gonna lie, Megan and I have both moved a handful of times, cities, states. And one thing I admire about Megan is she always makes friends with such ease. With such ease. And we're talking friends that make her shine. We're talking friends that heal her. We're talking friends that bring out the absolute best parts of you. And I've seen you evolve over the last 3 years drastically.
Thank you.
And I have to ask you, because I have not had the same journey. It's been a little bit harder for me, okay? I'll be honest.
That's
I
real.
keep coming home to my childhood besties. I'm like, they see me for me, and it makes it hard sometimes. I have a little bit of a barrier up. Okay. So what do you think has made it so easy for you over the last couple of years of moving Tampa, Miami, back home, back to Tampa, how we met even? What do you think's helped with that?
For me, I think friendships are probably my number one priority in my life right now in this era. I'm single. I'm living in Miami. Life is like not so serious, don't have so many responsibilities. So friendships are my number one priority, and I really try to think in that way and live in that way. I also genuinely love people, love meeting new people, and I have a naturally outgoing personality. I don't know, for me, even if I'm having a moment where I'm feeling kind of shy or I'm feeling insecure, and
You
maybe
shy?
it happens sometimes. I have an anxious,
Very
shy
rarely.
moment sometimes, once in a while.
Very rarely.
But I like the bigger part of me cares more about connecting with more people, putting myself out there, and just expanding my network and my circle. So I think it's just that it's such a high priority to me. And if I want something, I'm going to make it happen. So I want to be surrounded by good people. So I just take action in that way to make it happen, whether that's going up to the girl in my elevator that I think has a cute outfit that I think would be really fun to
Compliment
be
her.
be at happy hour with, or whether it's working with someone at a yoga studio and just making the first move to actually be friends outside of it. Even if it's scary, I just kind of do it because I
Yeah.
want to be surrounded by amazing people.
I so understand that. I remember reaching out to you at one point when I was in Charlotte because I moved to Charlotte 2 years ago. And I remember telling you, I go to this girl and I get a hydrofacial from her every week. I don't know how old she is, but I think she's so sweet. Should I introduce myself? And I can't.
What did I say?
You were like, yeah, and then you actually said your sister had a similar experience, I think, with her facial girly. But now that I'm going to be moving, I will say there's been a little bit of an energy, not saying I'm proud of it, but I just have been a little bit, when you have wishy-washy energy, you have a little bit of a wishy-washy results.
Yeah.
Ever since we decided I'm moving, I've been a little bit fostering the friends that I do have in Charlotte and a little bit more apprehensive to really go the extra mile, for example, at a solid core class and introduce myself to the girl next to me. So sometimes I feel that I'm less inclined to make that move or step outside of my comfort zone in that regard. And I believe I'm missing out, honestly, a little bit. Like, I should enjoy the rest of the time I have there, you know?
Yeah, that makes so much sense to me because
Yeah.
you are in your wifey era. You're about to start making babies. You only have so
Woo!
much time
Yeah.
and so much energy. So if you're only in the city for a couple more months, why would you put so much time and energy into creating a new friendship? That's one
Thank you for saying that. Yeah.
perspective. But then at the other side, like, we only live once.
Yeah.
Life goes by pretty fast. If you
It
see
does.
someone that sparks your interest or that you think you might really connect with, why the hell not just put yourself out there and go on a coffee date?
Yeah.
Because you and I both know it's random people that we've ended up meeting at happy hour, random people that we met in a fitness class that actually you have a conversation with and they lead you to have an idea, or they introduce you to someone who leads you to make a change in your
So
life.
true.
Like, life is so limitless when you put yourself out there and you really experience that. And I think the best way to do that is by connecting with other people.
So many people, especially in our generation, because many people in our generation ended up moving out of state to go to college. People who had the opportunity to do so would often take it. I left my state because I really wanted a new beginning. I wanted a fresh slate, new beginning, all by myself. And so I think it's hard for a lot of people. And even when I come to Florida, when I go to Charlotte, you hear it all the time. It's a melting pot. So chances are the girl at solid core next to you or the girl at pickleball is probably feeling the same way.
Yeah.
It feels awkward in the moment to say hello or to follow them on Instagram and then follow up with, hey, we should grab a coffee. But chances are they probably feel the same way.
Yeah, that's a huge realization and a huge reminder that if you're feeling nervous to put yourself out there with a friend or a person that you're meeting that you think has the potential to be someone that you actually vibe with, just know they probably want more connections too. I think this era of life, people are reporting that they're more lonely than ever before. And a lot of people are lacking community. As someone who coaches women, I've learned this so much through the women that I've coached over the years. And because this has usually came more natural to me, I didn't realize it until I was speaking to so many people from different kinds of walks of life. It's such a common struggle for people to have. So if you're someone who's shy about putting yourself out there, remember, other people are dealing with the same exact thing, and being the first one to make the move, one, it makes you a bad bitch, and two, it just makes it just start the ripple effect. It's amazing.
It's amazing what can happen on the other side. And Megan and I both know just how beautiful it can be on the other side when you take that leap. And we started CELE Chats and we birthed CELE Chats out of our own friendship. And we birthed it out of a love of connecting one-on-one with women. There is nothing like the way that you feel when you connect with a woman. You see each other for who each other is. You help each other grow. It's such a beautiful opportunity for you. And we invite you, like this week, if you're listening to this week, just step outside of your comfort zone and invite somebody on a coffee, because you never know what it could lead to. And all the silly, funny, amazing moments that are on the other side of that.
So it sounds like, from what you just said in the epi, you
I
are the
think
one
I
who
got
needs
it.
to take that challenge this week
Yeah.
too.
I think I have someone in mind.
Oh my God, amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me about how it's felt harder for you to make friends in your upper 20s, out of your college era. Like, have you been feeling lonely, or have you been really just going more internal into your hubby life?
I'm definitely coming off of a season of really embracing my own presence. In my early 20s, I was going, so much so that I'll be the first to say I lost my spark. For a little while, I knew it was going to be temporary, but I did have to learn how to reconnect with my intuition, how to trust myself again. And so it took some time, and I went through a friendship breakup in my early 20s, kind of rocked me, honestly. I ended up moving cities, a temporary spot, but just knew that we needed not to live in that same city. It wasn't in my best interest. I was getting married at the time. So it's been a season of choosing my husband and of growing together and becoming best friends and really leaning into each other, loving each other. And now I'm in a season where I really am craving new connections of people who are preparing for motherhood, of people who are in a similar season that I am in. So that's been a big thing. I will say, being an entrepreneur, transparently, sometimes I do feel like I struggle to connect with people for some reason. I think I just have a little bit of a different schedule, and sometimes that can feel a little bit disconnecting because I don't need to schedule everything for the weekend. Like sometimes when you're in a 9 to 5, everything's saved for the weekend. I'm a big fan of Mel Robbins, and she really made it make sense for me why I'm struggling so much in my mid to late 20s now, which is proximity. Proximity is a massive thing, and it's easy to make friends, I believe, when you're in college and high school because you're literally with those people every
24/7.
single day.
Yeah.
So it's been a little bit of a journey for me to navigate how can I not let this be a barrier now? And what can I do? And I'm still in the middle of it. I don't have any solutions just yet. Stay tuned for that. But
while you're figuring this out, it sounds like it'll be so much easier for you as you're back home with your hometown homies and everything.
Hometown
Love
homies.
That. But has any social anxiety come up for you as you've tried to work on building connections as your upper 20s? Because I know I never had social anxiety until I was probably 25. And I was like, this is not helpful with me trying to make friends outside of college.
Look, coming off a season of losing yourself, for me, I'm talking about my journey, I literally was debilitated by social anxiety, completely debilitated. I'm on the other side now. I definitely am. It required a lot of things. Right after college, a year and 4 months in the making, COVID hit. That created a lot of social anxiety for everyone on a little bit of a global scale because we were all stuck inside. But my social anxiety manifested after a direct sales job that I was really unhappy in, but finances were tight and I felt extremely stuck at that time. So I give myself so much grace, but I did have to forgive myself for seasons where I say we because the people that I worked with at the time, we were all partying on the weekends, escaping, so unhappy, so anxious, and it took a lot of guts to quit. I did, and after I quit, my life transformed, but then I was stuck with the social anxiety that happened as a result of being so unhappy and anxious in a job that I despised. So
would the social anxiety come up, you would see someone who you thought would be kind of a potential friend or connection, and you just couldn't even muster up the courage to chat with them, or how would it show up?
It would show up in all different ways. It could be in groups. It could be on one-on-one. When it got to its most worst point, really, this is what would happen. I would feel awkward to hang out with my closest friend. I would go hang out with them, but I was so in my own head. Yeah, it was a dark time, honestly. But we're on the other side.
I've been there. Even though you say I'm the least shy person, I've been there before too, when you're in your head with one of your besties because you're just not feeling good in yourself. And I think that's such a great point. If you want to be in a place where you're manifesting good friendships, making sure your inner world is good. Because when your inner world is good and when you're taking your time to really check in with your thoughts, make sure the words that are going through your head all day are serving you and your expansion and your confidence and your self-love. That kind of energy is magnetic. The right people are drawn to you, and you don't need to put so much effort into creating the friendships or meeting the people. They're kind of drawn to you. And then it's your authentic, just like self-love and personality that will keep them around.
It's so true. And I think on the other side of that, I've loved getting to know the socially anxious side of you because it made me love you even more. And I think that we have to be comfortable to embrace these challenging sides of being a human. Like, you are not alone if you're feeling that. And there's been times where, I would force myself to go to social outings and maybe I didn't really want to go and I didn't feel safe to say no. So I think it's being self-aware enough to know they're going to love you whether or not you show up. Your people will. The right people will.
Yes, and that's a great point. Even if you see that girl that you want to be friends with at Pilates, at the cafe, whatever, you could be so vulnerable and so honest and say, hey, I'm really nervous, or I feel really freaking weird asking you for your number because I'm not hitting on you. I want to be your bestie or friend or whatever. But I think you look cool and just owning those parts of us that are maybe awkward or embarrassing or just don't feel so confident.
Yeah. I think too, just to talk a little bit more about friendships, now that I'm in my late 20s, now that I'm coming out on the other side of some really difficult moments of just feeling anxious, I think something that I think is so important in friendships, especially in adulthood, we are all in different seasons. I'm married, Megan is single, some friends
True.
are having babies, some friends are navigating their child going through depression and wondering how they can show up for them as the best version of themselves. And other people are having big, expansive promotions in their jobs. And I think it's so important to have grace for your friends. No matter what it is you're going through, even if you're going through an amazing season and maybe for a moment your friend hasn't really been there for you, check in on them because you never know what it is that they're going through. So I think grace is undermined in friendships in your 20s, especially late 20s.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, 100%. And that reminds me of how you and I are both huge believers in how real, true friendships that feel like home that you could talk to once a month or once every other month are so much more valuable and important than those friendships that you feel like you need to talk to every single day or that bring you pressure or stress into your life. Like we are beyond that era. We're
Yeah.
turning 30 in a couple months. Like
Yeah.
we have our own life going on. They have their own life going on. And I think that's so important to be in friendships that honor where you are, don't need all of your energy and and attention, but are still there for you and you know they're there if you need them, but
Yep.
don't need the everyday call or text. That's a lot. How do
It's
you
a
keep up with
little
that?
anxious attachment. And
Yeah, that could happen in your friendships too.
yes, and I think that you need to check in on yourself if you're experiencing that because you're going to lose friends fast
Yeah.
if you act
Yeah.
that way, I feel.
So what do you feel like is your final piece of advice for someone in our era, upper 20s, 30s, that wants to create better friendships and just
I
feel
think
more connected to people?
two things. I think first, don't be so hard on yourself to keep making friends. If you have an incredible group, a small circle of strong friends, they can be dispersed amongst different cities. Celebrate them, focus on them, and be there for them. And also celebrate their wins as much as you can. And then the second is be you. Stop putting a facade on. Stop feeling like you're too much in front of someone. Just be authentically you, and your people will continue to stay.
I would say that we are more powerful than we give ourselves credit for. So I hear so many women say, it's so hard for me to find people that I connect with. I have no time for my friendships. Every girl I meet sucks, whatever it is, whatever you're saying constantly, you're creating.
Yeah.
So be really intentional with what you put out there. If you find yourself saying it's so hard for you to meet friends, start to shift that into I'm starting to meet more aligned people everywhere I go. Put your energy towards what you want to create in the friendships that you want to create rather than what you're trying to avoid and run away from. And that's what you'll start to create more of in your life. I think I used to in college, I had a phase where I said I was so awkward all the time.
Oh,
And
been there.
and I created a lot of freaking awkward conversations for myself. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm confident in all situations. And that manifested too. And it didn't take that long to change what I was manifesting once I changed my words.
Yeah, it's true. Your inner talk has power, and don't underestimate her.
Hell no.
No.
Hell no. Should we end with a little CELE Chats poll?
Let's do it.
All right, CELE Chats. Conversation cards that make deep, meaningful conversations fun. Thankful thoughts. What's an aspect of your hometown that you're grateful for, and how has it shaped who you are today?
Love that.
This is such a good question for this episode because a lot of my friends that I grew up with are actually still my besties to this day that you were speaking of. And that's honestly a quality that I look in other people. When I see that they've had friends and connections for a lifetime, I'm like, okay, you're a solid person. But
I do too.
I think it really is that I've created friendships. A lot of my girls, I'm still friends with them to this day. And we lived in a small town, so small, no grocery store, 2 stoplights, I think, but we learned how to make it freaking fun. So I think that just caused us, okay, if I could have fun in a town with 2 stoplights, how much fun am I having in Miami? Because I think it just made us more fun people. So I appreciate that a lot.
That's fun. And I do agree with you. I think it's really special when someone still carries their childhood friends with them today. Thankful thoughts. Think about where you were in life 6 months ago. What changes have you made since then that you're proud of? 6 months ago, I was coming off of SSRIs. I was extremely anxious, definitely in a state of continuous rest, giving myself grace, honestly, home a lot. And since then, I am so proud of getting the hell out of my comfort zone again. And I will say, 6 months ago, I was not ready. I was not ready to do that. And today I am. And I'm so proud of the grace that I've given myself in this really challenging season, honestly. And
Yeah.
to be here is such a testimony for the strength, the peace that's replaced the anxiety. I'm so, so grateful.
And amazing. I love that. And watching you move through that, get to the other side of that was truly amazing. And then it's a really testament to how when you go through the thick of it, on the other side is a new level of yourself because the peace that you're emanating lately is next level and everyone's drawn to it.
Thank you for saying that. Well, this was so fun.
So fun.
With everything, Megan, we're almost freaking 30. Crazy.
Goddamn.
Whoa. But I think that it's going to be an amazing era ahead of us. But as we wrap up our 20s, what is the biggest lesson you've learned about friendship?
The biggest lesson that I've learned about friendship is that you want to surround yourself with people who are headed in the direction that you're going. Just example, my college age, I was so surrounded by party friends, and that was so fun. I love that. I love my party friends. But it wasn't until I started surrounding myself with people who were where I wanted to go, whether it was in business, in groundedness, in personal growth, that I started growing and expanding into the version of me that I wanted to. So I think it's really important to not be scared to surround yourself with people that are quote unquote ahead of you, but to lean into that because that's where your growth is.
I love that. I think for me, one of the biggest, hardest lessons that I learned is it is so important for the health of the friendship, for each of your happiness to set boundaries. And it's still a work in progress, but you have actually given me so much safe space to do that. And you've made it a lot
Yay.
easier. So thank you for that. And I think that's,
How?
I would say just in so many different ways, you are a really active listener. And if I'm going through a season, I'm feeling uncomfortable about something or simply just not wanting to do something in business that I'm not ready to do, you honor it and you respect it and you make me feel so much better, which allows me to be safe in my own nervous system because I spent a lot of my younger years having to ignore that. And so you've given me that power back. And I think that's going to be, I mean, talk about celebrating how a friend can make you better. The return on investment that you've allowed me to feel safe to set boundaries in a friendship is going to be massive in so many different ways in my marriage and motherhood, which I haven't even started yet. And so because of that, I just couldn't thank you enough.
Oh, I love that. Love you.
Love you. Well, ladies, that is another episode of CELE Chats. Thank you for tuning in.
And you could grab your CELE Chats deck at letscele.com, the best conversation cards for making deep conversations fun, easy, and exciting. See you in the next episode.